Hello, I'm Toycat, and this is my end portal in Minecraft. Except the thing that lies on the other side of my portal is very different to what you probably expect because I entirely covered my end in glass. That's right, almost every single block that is visible is covered in glass, and although this is great for stopping Endermen, it also has the really wonderful effect of making my end look laminated. It was a really big, and if we're being entirely honest, slightly stupid project in a few different ways that required a lot more than you might even figure when you look at it initially, because it took 55,000 blocks of glass, which already sounds like a lot of effort to place, but consider I didn't just have to place 55,000 blocks of glass, because to get 55,000 blocks of glass, you need to break 55,000 blocks of sand, which of course I did by destroying an entire desert. You might have seen this before, by the way. It's a desert where I've replaced every single sand block with a torch, as you can see right here. We had to destroy an entire desert, and then that's not enough, because then smelting 55,000 blocks of anything is an ordeal, let alone glass, meant we had to go through an insane amount of fuel, an insane amount of time to just watch it smelt, and that's where this furnace house came in, but it took a lot of resources is my point. Okay, so I've taken as many buckets as I can from all over the world, I've filled them with lava from the giant lava pool, and yeah, now we can basically just sit here and wait for this chest to fill with glass, and it's gonna magically end up that way, which is kind of nice in my opinion. So yeah, now we just sit here, we wait, and every so often we empty the glass chests into the sand chests. And that's why I was so thrilled when I finally completed the project, and so the exact opposite of thrilled when the unthinkable happened, because I agreed after I covered it with glass that I would never spawn an ender dragon in again, and although I never willingly decided to do so, what ended up happening was the exact unthinkable, because an ender dragon spawned in without my say so because of a weird Minecraft bug involving archaic world realm stuff. Basically, something outside my control happened, and a bug caused me to lose about 10 to 12,000 blocks of that glass, meaning I had to smelt up even more sand. I had to collect the sand, I had to smelt it, I had to take it to the end, and I had to fix up what I've done before, which was an absolutely heartbreaking moment. I even decided that, you know what, this is never going to happen again, such an unlikely, ridiculous bug, that I decided I'm going to kill some ender dragons now to make some more end portal gateways, because I figured they were kind of important, and this was my last opportunity to ever get a try. I mean, my end's never going to be destroyed, it's always going to stay covered in glass forever, and that's where I was entirely wrong, because one evening I was chilling and playing Minecraft. I mean, literally look at the description of the stream I was doing. It was literally just designed to be a let's hang out, let's talk about some stuff, and let's mine some endstone to work on one of the residual kind of projects around my world. And during that stream, we actually discussed the process of backing up a couple of times. Once I mentioned, oh yeah, I haven't backed up in a few days, but it's probably fine. And then I almost died during that stream, and I realized, you know what, I should back up. I decided not to back up at this moment because I was like, you know what, it kind of seems like a weird thing. I'm sure I won't almost die again. That would be crazy. I'm not going to lose all my stuff, right? And then even a second time in that same stream, I had the same moment where I was like, okay, I'm going to back up the world just in case something goes wrong here, some Minecraft bug or something, but I decided to have faith in myself. And I even made a joke at the time. I'm genuinely terrified of, like, falling off and then dying from here through some awful mistake. So just as a backup, I'm feeling, like, extra scared today. What we're going to do is we're going to back up the world. I hate when Steve blinks, by the way. Because, actually, let's not back it up. I believe myself without the requirement to back up my world. I think it's fine. Oh, Jesus. So close to death. And this is where things get horrifying, because I decided I was going to collect a beacon that I had all the way out in the End Islands, which meant I had to use one of these end portal gateways. And, you know, the bug regarding the realms and the things that spawned the End Dragon before, it had been fixed several times over. I had reassurance from personal Minecraft developers, so I was sure that it wasn't going to lead to any issues. So what happened is I went through my end portal, and luckily for me, there was no bug that would cause an Ender Dragon to spawn when you went through an end portal gateway incorrectly or something like that. However, what actually happened? Try and go through this one. Okay, that was scary. Oh no, what the heck? What? That's right, if you look at the health bars at the top of the screen, 5 separate ender dragons did just spawn in my end, and they're all heading towards the main end island. My hope, my plea, my dream was that maybe, just maybe, what was actually ending up happening right there was that they were going to head in that direction, but they'd get stuck in the chunks in between. Minecraft doesn't load all the chunks in the world at any given point in time. However, for ender dragons, it apparently makes an exception to that rule because they made it to the main end island, and it was even worse than I expected. 5 ender dragons destroyed destroying even more glass than the first time round was already breaking my heart beyond belief, but you know what made it so much worse? It's not just 5 Ender Dragons, I don't think it's even 10 Ender Dragons, it's a ludicrous number of Ender Dragons, so many so that they all just clip into each other on a non-stop basis. It's ridiculous. There is a non-stop series of Ender Dragons in my end, and I don't know where they came from, I don't know why they came from. All I know is that right now, as I record this video, they are destroying my end. In fact, you know what? You might have noticed how in this whole video, I have no experience. I have nothing on me besides the things I've picked up as I've gone along. That's because my stuff is stuck in the end. They instantly killed me. I nearly instantly died. And as a result, I need to go back to the end just to get my stuff back, just to get my, you know, full gear of equipment. And I also need to go back to the end to deal with the dragons that are currently tearing up everything I know and love. So to bring this back to the end portal, in front of me right now, I have an absolutely impossible challenge of collecting my stuff which is at the bottom of the end, by the way. I can't reach it without almost dying on the way there. I have to reach all of my stuff while it is being protected by over a dozen Ender Dragons. The end is meant to be filled with one of Minecraft's most formidable challenges, the Ender Dragon, but trying to face more than one boss at the same time is ridiculous. There's a reason they give you one of them and then they give you the possibility to respawn it. There is never a natural Minecraft opportunity to fight 2 dragons, let alone 3 dragons, 4 dragons, 5 dragons, or more than 10. But today, we have to embark on that challenge, and we have to not only defend ourselves from them, but potentially we have to even fight back against them. And that is insane, but let's give it our best shot. Okay, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna take the huge leap of faith, and I'm gonna pray that this goes in my favor. I've got food, I've got a bucket, and I'm ready to take on these Ender Dragons head on, and let's go. Let's do this as fast as we humanly can. I've learned from last time that you know, the way they just knocked us off the island immediately, over and over and over again, is we want to avoid the center as much as we can. As you can see, the damage they've done... Wait, the damage... I'm starting to question. Maybe they're all in the sky in a weird place right now, but there's no boss bars and there's no sign of any dragons. You can see they've been here, you can see the destruction they've done to every part of the end, but I don't see a dragon. Let's not worry about that now. Let's get the stuff. There's only a certain amount of time before our stuff will despawn. So we're going to place our water bucket down here, just to be extra safe, then immediately pick it up. Technically, it's not a water bucket, it's a fish bucket, but you know what? That fish had it coming anyway. And then let's go down and let's collect all of our stuff, because we were lucky that we died in one of the end pillars. We hollowed out. I was, you know, one of the silly mistakes, or I guess decisions I made that is really going to come in big. As you can see, I decided to make it like kind of hollowed out here. So all of my stuff is going to be able to be gotten back, including my pickaxes, my shovel. That pickaxe is concerningly close to the edge. So as nice as it is to have my main stuff back now, besides my leggings apparently, and I think a few inventory items, but it can't be very many. I think it's just the leggings that I can notice right now. The question of where the dragons have gone is the much bigger one. I didn't alter the save file at all. You know, again, if I was, I would have just, you know, gone back in time and not dealt with all of this. I'd have just undone the damage and MC edited it away. But as you can see, the damage has been done. The dragons did exist. It wasn't my imagination that you've all seen in video form. But yet, despite the dragons being very real, despite them very much really killing me, or leaving me to die because of falling, I cannot see the dragons right now. They don't seem to exist. A part of me wants to go and chase them because I was genuinely super hyped to kill them. Like, I thought that'd be a fun little challenge. No one's ever gotten to face, you know, 10 to 15 to whatever dragons in survival before. I thought that'd be super cool, but I literally can't see them anywhere. The closest thing I have to a theory is maybe when you go through the end portal, it kills all the dragons that are alive in the end, because the end portal should only spawn once your one dragon is dead, and maybe that's like a fallback in the code, but that makes it even more confusing that all those dragons, over a dozen, spawned out of nowhere, and then nothing comes of it. That makes even less sense to me, but here we are, I guess. So I know I really shouldn't do this, but the one last thing I need to check is I need to go through the exact same end portal that I went through before. I need to go through this one right now. We need to see, does it have the dragon spawning glitch just with this portal? Is this portal just cursed to spawn an endless number of dragons? The answer seems to be no. Why is the game just acting like it's normal? Why is the game just acting like it didn't spawn in that many dragons? I really don't know. This glitch gets so much more mysterious because now we don't even get all the benefits of fighting the Ender Dragon. Instead, the Ender Dragons, I should say, all of them, the dozen of them, just made me lose my leggings permanently into the void of the end. Probably some other equipment items that I'm forgetting right now and can't see, like a shulker box I think went missing. But like, yeah, I've just lost a ridiculous number of items and there's no proof any of it happened besides all of these chorus fruit, which I guess is one tiny, ridiculously small consolation prize, and all of the glass which is now destroyed. destroyed. Just to confirm that it wasn't because I just couldn't see them before, we're gonna go back through the portal. Nope, as you can see, the Ender Dragons are gone. I got all of the pain of this Minecraft bug, with not even the one little consolation prize that I'd get to fight a bunch of dragons. That is incredibly lame if you ask me. I don't like that at all. So do you remember how earlier on this video I mentioned how I back up my world every now and then, and I was considering doing it earlier, but I didn't. But what I did do as soon as I saw the dragons is I backed up the world just in case, you know, something could be done to prevent this kind of huge tragedy. And although we couldn't prevent the tragedy, it's happened regardless. Something that we might be able to do with the backup from the world. So here we are again, back about a minute after this whole tragedy happened. As you can see, the chorus fruit is still on the ground, and this means that I can use this as my opportunity to kind of get a little bit of a rematch. My end is destroyed. There is still a bunch of dragons spawned, sadly, because I don't back up enough, because I just didn't anticipate this happening. But sadly, I can't prevent those things happening, but I can prevent the needless death, and I can, fortunately, get my much... Okay, no, I can't. No. Okay. What was that bug? What just happened there? I can get my much-deserved rematch with the dragons. Here you can see the dragons are very much alive and well. Oh my god, then there's so many of them. Oh my god, Jesus. Okay, so as you can... Okay, let's try that again. Okay, this is my moment. I'm not going to be overwhelmed by the number of dragons, or, I mean, by the portal itself, but instead, I'm just going to focus on killing them as best I know how. I don't know what the actual strategy for killing this many dragons is. It's not something people discuss very often because of the impossibility of it. But I do know that speed is of the essence, because every second I spend not killing the dragons is seconds that they can spend absolutely destroying my end. Like, right now, we can just see it happening. In fact, actually, you know, a part of me wants to just, you know, okay. You know, we have to kill the dragons, then we can deal with all these questions later. But as you can see, oh my Jesus, okay. Oh, and, okay, that was our Ender Dragon fight. Pretty good time, I think. I think we kind of showed them who was boss. So I think it goes without saying, our first move needs to be to get back to the end and see if that same thing has repeated itself. Because if it hasn't, maybe we got the best of both worlds from this? Okay, we're going back into the end, but according to last time, what might just happen here is the end portal might be the death of all dragons. And, based on the end so far, that seems to have happened. So, yeah, long story short... Oh, the end acid is here. You can see, we didn't just imagine it. Those end dragons were here. But more importantly than that, although the dragons did a little bit of damage, some pretty key points as well, it seems as though we got our stuff, all of it, including our leggings, which we love apparently, and we didn't have to fight the dragons. So, as far as I'm concerned, this isn't a win, this is an absolute loss. We have to spend a lot of time putting the end back together, but it's far less time than otherwise, and... Again, things could have been much worse. A Minecraft bug cost us a lot of time, and because Minecraft doesn't have exit without saving, we can't do too much about that. However, I could have been screwed by the game far worse than, you know, maybe 3, 4, 5,000 blocks of glass. You know, it's going to take me hours to redo, but at least it's not dozens of hours like we assumed before, so that's a positive improvement, and, you know, again, another quick plug for exit without saving. Go vote for it on the Minecraft feedback site. However, you know what? A part of me feels cheated that I lost my fight with 15 Ender Dragons. A part of me really wants to do that, so here is my Let's Play world, here is the way it normally works, but... That's right, we're back, if only on a bit of a backup world, and we're here because I want to see what it's like to fight this many dragons at once. I don't think it's going to be easy, in fact, the game has proven that right now for me, but I want to see if it's even possible. Even flying around is dangerous with this many dragons around. It's like a crowded airport, you know? But we have to see if we can do it, just for the sake of myself, because I don't see how you even would begin to do this, let alone without having a proper chest plate and potions and stuff. But with the gear we have right now, can we make a dent in these dragons? And oh god, it seems as though without any more fireworks, the answer's going to be a hard no, but let's see if we can try our best and get this done. They're all flying around so fast, it's impossible to it's impossible to actually make a dent in any of these dragons, because as soon as you try to attack one, as soon as you get a good position, another one's going to tear you apart. There's too many flying around at any given point in time to really do this, even with the pretty good equipment that we have right now. But let's try the good old classic, attacking them when they get to base. If we attack right here, and then we attack from the back, which should be easy enough to do, then we avoid the end attacks. Then we'll die anyway, it seems. Okay, it's time for take 3. Let's go. I think This is genuinely possible as long as you stay off the ground. The ground is where you can be end acided, whereas when you're in the sky, those end acids are going to lie on pillars. Being end acided is a kind of big deal against one dragon, but with this many dragons all able to do the exact same technique, I think it's important that you stay in the sky for as much of this as you can, and as soon as you've done a little bit of damage and you get hit once, then you realize, get out there, because these dragons, I mean, they're all pointing different directions. Oh my god, they're all in the center right now. These dragons, the ridiculous number of them, aren't gonna take anything for it. Look at this insanity, by the way. What am I looking at right now? It's impossible to actually tell, right? You just see a massive dragon. But you can see the health bars going down. That's a reassuring fact. Oh, Jesus, yeah. So many of the dragons are firing acid at the same time right now. And it's making it really challenging for me to do anything besides die. But that's the challenge in this run, honestly. Look how much glass is being destroyed. I'm so glad this is a backup. Because this is breaking my heart, even in the backup. I can't imagine thinking about the amount of time it would take, and we're over again. Okay, take 4. Can we kill the Enderdragons? Everything seems to suggest no, but that's not gonna stop me believing in yes. So one dragon comes down, and all the other dragons are coming up at the same time. It's fine, it's fine, it's good, it's good, okay, it's not fine. There's lots of reasons why it's not fine, though. And that's nice. At this point, a part of me would be happy if we can kill just a single dragon, because the amount of projectiles flying in from every direction makes this like a hassle to even stay in the air without dying. Like, I'm just getting continually knocked up. Like a young girl in Alabama with only male siblings. I'm being continually knocked up by something that feels a bit unfair. Okay, take 5. This is the one. I can feel it. I can feel it in my heart. I can feel it in my soul. I can feel it in my everywhere. And my trick is, I'm going to circle around the end. Instead of going anywhere near the center, that's where the flight traffic seems to be the highest. Instead, I'm mostly focusing around the outside, and then when I see them all group up in the center, which statistically seems to happen every now and then, that's when I strike. Only then, only at that point do I strike. Until then, I keep my flying distance nice and high, and I keep my sword next to my fireworks, so I can fly and I can hit with pretty much no delay between the two things. But yeah, once the last few dragons come in, because it looks like they're all doing the exact same behavior, just on a delay. Obviously, they can all attack me based on where I am differently, but they're all doing the same behavior of coming and leaving on the same cycle, and we might be able to use that to our advantage. Yep, every dragon is in the center. As long as I can eat effectively and do some damage here, we can actually start to make some real impact on these health bars. Look at that. Oh, and look at me dead. Okay, take 6. If we can't do it this time, maybe it's just not possible. We're going to be so overly cautious that I'm sure we'll run out of food before we start killing the dragons. But as long as I can get one of them taken down, then I think the momentum will start to carry and we'll start to be killing more than one dragon. That's the plan. Let's see if it works. As long as you're higher up than the dragons, I think you're mostly safe, is the lesson I'm learning from this. Yeah, they're not properly syncing up this time, it seems. I've yet to find the moment where it's safe to actually go in and not be endasted. So that's why my plan is to actually use the dragons as a shield from other endasted attacks. As long as this doesn't happen, which it just did. Never mind. You know what? New plan. I'm going to follow dragons around and attack them in the air. They can't attack back if they're flying the wrong way, unless they do that, of course. Okay, they can't attack back, for the most part. And it's a much more controlled way to deal with such a swarm of enemies. Attack them where they're separate, not where they're together. The noises are so intense, for the record. Oh, also, let's get a good count of how many dragons there are. If such a thing is even possible. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's somewhere between 10 and 20. The number is literally uncountable because of how many are stuck together at any given point in time. Okay, right behind all the dragons, here we are. This is working. Just keep on spinning, keep on hoping, and get out there when things get bad. That is the solution to this crisis. There is something surreal about fighting this many dragons, I do have to say. I really do. Okay, now's my moment. Let's do this. Let's do some real damage to these dragons. Or not. Or try to. And we're dead. So for try number 8, my real final try, I'm going to fly away from the end for a little bit, go to the place I was originally trying to go and made the terrible, fateful decision to go through the end gateway, and I'm going to see what ingredients I can pick up, because I think I have an end chest over here that might just give me some better chance of doing anything here, really. Okay, here it is. As you can see, there's a whole separate project I was working on that's basically being destroyed by this. We're getting a water bucket, just in case, I guess. We're gonna get all the cooked steak in the world, because you know what? Sometimes you just don't know what you're gonna run up against. We're gonna get another stack of fireworks to give me more time in the sky, and then also we can get a bow, which is gonna be surprisingly handy because we have a stack of arrows. 64 arrows is not gonna go nearly far enough in the world that we need it to, but at least it's something. At least we have some hope now because we've got all of the stuff in the world. And for when things go their absolute worst and we're getting blasted again, this is where the blast protection is going to come in surprisingly handy. I hope. I don't actually know if it counts as explosion damage, but still, having a chest plate will help us against that as well. And I'm hoping all the stuff that we just so happen to have in our end chest, because it's obviously designed to be everywhere, is enough to give us a fighting chance. So let's go see if it is on my final attempt to kill 10 to 20 Ender Dragons at once. Which actually, now that I think about it, we should probably ride a boat back to save our fireworks, so let's go ahead and let's do that. Okay, I'm back and I'm ready to rock and roll against, again, what is apparently a single dragon now. Wait, is it really a single dragon this time? I asked the question of what Minecraft is on a regular basis. I can't work out how all of the dragons would have despawned besides this one. Every bit of logic seems to have gone out the window when it comes to this. And I just don't know why that is. You know, I have a fun fact for you. Did you know it's way easier to kill one dragon than to kill 20? This is unexpected information, but here we go, apparently. Oh no, after the craziest fight in all of history, it looks like we're about to take down the dragon. Can we do it? It seems like we shouldn't be able to, but here we are, absolutely wrecking the dragon anyway. Oh yeah, here we go, here we go. Against all the odds, we have somehow managed to kill one Ender Dragon. One very confusing looking Ender Dragon, but one Ender Dragon is now dead, and theoretically it could provide just 25 XP like second dragons. I think it might just, wait, what just happened? Why is all the experience dropping perfectly parallel? But instead of providing 25 XP, which, oh, okay, you know, it provides a second dragon kill. So I killed the dragon again today, and I'm so confused at everything that happened in this video to lead up to that moment. But here's the key question. Did that open another end gateway? And does that end gateway hold the secret to more dragons? As best I can tell, it didn't open a new end gateway. I still have the 8 that I had before, which is super strange. If I go back through this portal again, is that gonna lead to it happening? I really just don't know at this point what the end is anymore. I like to pretend I know, but clearly any knowledge we have about Minecraft is all usurped by Minecraft Bedrock's bugginess. And finally, we go through the portal and we see the dragons didn't respawn. There was a one-time bug, or maybe it's like something that built up over time, because I've been in the end a really long amount of time. Something about my world, this end portal, which goes to, it's from, you know, like an old console save, so, and I do use it every now and then, so there's no reason why it shouldn't work. But something about this weird collection of stuff led to 10 to 20 dragons spawning. Something about leaving the end makes them despawn. I'm assuming it's like, you know, once you leave the end, there shouldn't be any dragons anymore. But also something about going to the end islands makes them all despawn besides one. Nothing in that logic is consistent. Nothing is recreatable in the slightest, it seems. But my end is very slightly destroyed. Whichever way you cut it, whether we use this version of the end or the other one. My end was wrecked by a Minecraft bug, and it's super annoying to see a bug like this. But you know, I accept that it's a fact of playing Minecraft Bedrock. There are many wonderful things about Bedrock. The quality control currently is not one of them, sadly. The quality assurance, I guess you might be able to say. But you know, the key point we should make in this video is that one, I think that exit without saving should be a thing to prevent bugs like this, which are so rampant and always happening, becoming a problem. But two, would it be cool if you could fight multiple Ender Dragons in default vanilla survival? I would love it if, you know, if you wanted to place the extra, you know, end beacons down, if you wanted to place the extra, you know, spawn the dragon again and again and again, you should be able to spawn the dragon as many times as you want to, because fighting 2 dragons is much cooler than 1, fighting 10 dragons is much cooler than 2, and fighting somewhere between a dozen and 15 dragons is much, much cooler than either of those things. I would love for this to be a feature in Minecraft, and if this video didn't prove why, I don't know what would, but just in case you want to do this fight anyway, and you're like, okay, so how did you get that bug toy cat? I really want that. I don't know how to get that in legit survival. I have no clue what created that in the first place. I don't know how to recreate it. It just happened one day in a fateful live stream. Again, the description was I was having a chill Sunday, but anyway, it happened one day in a fateful live stream. But if you want to do something like this yourself. Obviously, we're going to start a brand new world. We're going to do this in creative because you're going to need some cheats and commands, which aren't going to be done in proper normal survival. But yeah, you want to go to your end first of all. Okay, so here is my end. Actually, you know what? The end on this seed is really, really weird, isn't it? This little gap over here looks almost intentional. You want to go to your end. You want to do whatever you're doing here. It feels weird looking at an end that's not covered in glass, by the way. And yeah, you give yourself whatever you want to give yourself to get the fight going. Or you could get all your stuff legitimately in survival before coming here and then turning on cheats. Because technically you don't even need to be in creative. Because if you want to look for an Ender Dragon spawn egg, fun fact, Minecraft doesn't give you one. They know that if they gave you an Ender Dragon spawn egg, then people would abuse that beyond belief. So what you instead want to do, if you want to summon an Ender Dragon, is type /summon, and you won't believe this, you want to type /summon Ender_dragon. Something like this. And if you type that in, what will happen is a dragon will spawn around you. No matter where you spawn it in the world, again, based on our observations that you saw right there, before, no matter where you spawn it, even if it's all the way out here, the dragon's going to try and find the center of the world, and it's going to try and rotate around the center, and obviously go around the crystals as a result, and you can spawn in as many dragons as you like this way. So yeah, do you want to fight 5 dragons at one time? Do you want to experience this level of intensity from 5 of what used to be Minecraft's hardest boss, and to this day still in some ways is a really challenging fight, especially on Bedrock? Well, you can do that if you really want to. It's insane, it's cool, but it's a thing you can totally do. But just at the end of the video, I want to give you a little story that I only just remembered, but it makes me realize that this isn't just the second time that I've had an Ender Dragon ruin my world, but it's actually the 3rd time, because, I've obviously shared the time that a dragon spawned and wrecked everything. I've shared this time where 10 to 15 dragons spawned and wrecked everything. But what if I told you that once I had 1,000 dragons spawn in my end? So, back in the day of Minecraft Xbox One Edition, when it was a fairly new game, there used to be a bug that involved, the way you save worlds that would duplicate the number of Ender Dragons that were in your end. So if you had 1, they would turn to 2. Then when you had 2, it would turn to 4, and so on and so forth. And I don't know what exactly I did to get to this level, but basically I had an uncountable number of Ender Dragons in my end. It looked absurd, you couldn't even see what was going on. And just in case you'd like to see that here in Bedrock, which I'm actually curious, like, can it run without dropping the frame rate that you saw in the video right there? I'm just going to spawn in a bunch of dragons right now. And we could do that by hand, of course, but instead I've got a repeating command block that's just going to continuously spawn in dragons, and we're going to see just how many we can get before the game starts to have some problems with it. Because I imagine it's going to happen sooner rather than later, and I was correct to imagine that I can't break my own block. Okay, well, you know what, I tried my best and I didn't succeed. But yeah, as you can see, yeah, there we go. This is what the world looks like when you have roughly 1,000 Ender Dragons in it. And yeah, needless to say, it's a bit of a mess. You think you can take this on, Minecrafters? Actually, I think this would be a fun challenge. If you give yourself any gear possible in Minecraft, is it possible to even try and do this? Because I imagine the answer is probably enough. So thank you very much for watching today's video. Like it if you did like it, share if you really liked it, subscribe if you're around here so you can see new videos like, not like this one at all, but new videos, covering the survival game every single day on the homepage, because I love Minecraft survival, I love going through so much of it, and that's why it's such a surprise when the game breaks in ways like this. I'm committed to keeping the world survival only, even when it means I lose this amount of progress, because I believe that, again, playing with a limitation of rules is the only way that you can really enjoy Minecraft. When you cheat yourself for any reason, you allow yourself to cheat continuously, and that's something we kind of have on this channel. It's all about survival based only Minecraft, and that's why I raised the question: how long do you think I can survive in this world right here if I go in survival with no equipment, no gear, no anything? So let's find out how long that is right now, shall we? And I think we have a good answer, and it was about 3 to 4 seconds, which is longer than I would have expected. So thank you very much for watching this video, and I'll see you all next time. Goodbye.